have the greatest job in the world, and that's working with dogs.
Best in Show winner is the French Bulldog.
Winston won the National Dog Show. It was amazing. It was exciting. And to have a dog to be #1 dog in this country, you have to have great nutrition. And I always fed Pro Plan. Just like us, when we eat well, we feel good. And I just love that food and what it's done all these years to all the dogs I've bred and all the dogs I've shown.
Welcome to Pure Dog Talk. I am your host, Laura Reeves, and I know you guys are really going to like this conversation because everyone's asking me what's happening with Purina Farms, right? Because on March 14th, Purina Farms was hit with an F2 tornado, which is huge. And to me, I have to no lie, it's a miracle this didn't happen sooner. So I'm just really amazed. So we have Angie Minges joining us today, who's the Director of Partnership Marketing and Events for Purina. And she's going to give us an update on, I think, very good news. So welcome, Angie. How you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I am spectacular. It's a beautiful spring day here in Oregon, where we do not have tornadoes. Just
You.
Honestly, I lived in Nebraska for 6 godforsaken years, and tornadoes are one of the things I really don't miss. Sorry, just don't.
They're not fun. They're
not fun. So give us a little background on yourself real quick, and then we'll kind of jump into what's going on with the farm.
So I work at Purina and I lead our partnership marketing group, which includes all of our sports properties, our partnerships, as well as our entertainment properties like the Incredible Dog Challenge and the National Dog Show. And then I'm also lucky that I get to lead the team out at Purina Farms. So that's kind of what I do during the day.
As I said before we got on air, boy, get a job, feels like.
I like to be busy.
That's good. That's good. Busy is good. So Remind me, I remember some of this when it happened, but the barn was trashed, yeah?
Yeah, so what was hit the hardest on our property, besides the lovely trees, and just the fields themselves, were our barn and our pet center. So both of those two buildings will have to be demolished. It was so sad, and the community has been so supportive and loving and caring of our farm, and we couldn't be more thankful for the people that we have in our lives that love Purina Farms. So yes, it was tragic that that natural disaster happened, but it's also pulled the community together, and we're just so grateful for everyone that is sending their love and care our way.
Absolutely. And the event center itself, where we hold the dog shows and have grooming and all the things, as well as I understand it, some of the RV spots were hit. Is that correct?
So there was a little bit of damage to a few of the RV spots just from the electrical boxes, but we're getting those replaced and those will be up and running.
Cool.
There was some slight water damage to the event center, so we're good and up and running and open the event center over the weekend. So
That's what I thought. Okay, so we're recording this on the 22nd, and you opened it this last weekend, right?
Yeah, we had our
Awesome.
first show up on the 19th, and
Nice.
the poodles are off and running with their trials. So we're excited just to have people back on property.
Well, PCA, I mean, I know that PCA is coming and has been a huge target date. So talk a little bit about some of the work, because I know it was Herculean. So tell me about some of the work that had to be done to get this ready so that poodles could be there.
You know, a lot of it was just the cleanup and making sure it was safe for, any guests to show up on site. That was our number one priority, the animals and the safety of our guests. So we felt like we were able to get the site secured, cleaned up enough. We have areas where guests can't go, unfortunately, but that's for safety reasons only. But the event center was nice and cleaned and ready to go for their guests. And we got the RV spots up and running. So everyone has their RV spot and they can enjoy the farm and the beauty that the farm has.
Amazing. And you talked about the trees. My understanding is some of all those trees that went down, that's part of the cleanup, right? So you've got to chop them up and drag them away. And is that something? I mean, Purina Farms doesn't have that many employees. I mean, this is
No, this is where insurance comes in. Uh,
yes, there you go.
and we have a whole team in our site services department that sprung
Mm,
into action both that evening as well as the weeks after, just to make sure that we got everything cleaned up and safe. So, yes, there was lots of tree companies out there chopping up the wood and
mm,
making sure that there, no pathways were blocked. And
right,
uh,
right.
yeah, so it's starting to look a lot better out there.
So for those of us who have run all over Purina Farms, I personally was there for a Spinoni National and one of the dogs went walkabout. So I've traipsed over the farm more than I thought I was ever going to. Is it that hillside off to, if you're looking up at the farms, the one off to the right? Is that the one that got, or the event center, though? There was this area over here to the right that had a lot of trees. Is that where they got nailed?
Yeah, it came down the hill from the back and then hit the
Mm,
barn on the backside, and then it went up the hill, like over the highway and up the hill. So yeah, we were so lucky that the event center didn't take,
the
hardly
direct
any.
hit.
Yeah, so great. And all
Unbelievable.
of us are safe. There was no injuries to any of our animals. All of our people were safe. So we were extremely lucky.
Yeah. And EF2, I can't remember. That's over 100-mile-an-hour winds, right? I
I
know,
want to say,
right?
yeah, I can't remember either. I'd have to look that up. But just the fact that there was an EF scared me.
Right. Twisting around in the air, we got the whole Dorothy thing. It's bad. It's just bad.
Yeah.
And so I know you lost a couple events, the USASA, the United States Australian Shepherd Association. Did you have to cancel other stuff or just the one big one?
We've canceled a few, mostly because we just weren't ready to like
Mhm,
open from a safety standpoint. We've kind of worked with one of the clubs to find a new location for
mhm,
them. We've got a couple of modified events coming in the future just because some
mhm.
of the fields aren't ready. But everyone has been so understanding and so just appreciative of what we're trying to get done.
Yeah.
Um, that I can't thank the dog sport community enough of the love that they've given us and the support that they've showed us. So
Well,
we're working fast.
I'm telling you, it's a month, right? I mean, that's pretty impressive. I'm sorry, but that's pretty impressive. And I think so many of us have such a soft spot in our hearts for the event center because we've had a national there, or we've have been there, or we've shown dogs there every weekend, like some of the folks out in the Midwest, that it is part of our structure of our community that ties everything together. And it's really, as much as we've all tried to convince Purina to build more of them, it's the only place in the country that is a purpose built for you guys who've never been there. It truly is a remarkable facility and purposely built for dog events. So talk us through a little bit of that because I am sure there are listeners here who have never had the pleasure of joining us at your event center.
I love getting onto the farm property just itself. Like the minute you go through the gate,
Right.
it's so calming and there's
Hmm.
so much nature around. It's just beautiful out there. And it sits on top of a hill. And so you can see trees for miles. And, behind what the event center, there's a big wooded area. And it's just open land and open area for dogs to explore. And it's the event center, I would say, is one of my favorite places to visit too. There's never a sad face when you walk in there. uh, there are so many happy dogs, so many happy dog handlers, so many happy clubs. Everyone's just so happy to be there and doing what they love to do. So
Mhm.
it's just a fresh breath of fresh air when you go out there for sure.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I'm old enough to remember when it wasn't there, right? And when it first started and dog shows in the area didn't have this facility that has specially designed floors, built-in bathing areas, all the things that make it perfect to hold a dog show, or, around it you can do lure coursing and all the rest of it on the grounds, right?
Hmm. I mean, it is very unique. To your point, I have not seen another venue like that in the U.S. And I think that's what makes it so special is it is a community, and people that experience it want to come back. And they have, what I love about being out there too is everyone you talk to has an idea of how we can make it even better. And it's just
A
such a
hotel. I'm just
I always hear that one. I always hear that one. But no, and it's just from they love it so much that they want to be there more often. And I
Yeah,
love that. And Purina loves that. We love the fact that we're offering this amenity to so many dog sport lovers.
sure. It is nice. As I said, my suggestion, take back to the powers that be, one in every region. I'm just we get one on the East Coast, one on the West Coast. Chop chop. Come on.
I'm going to put you in charge of that.
I'm down. I'm good.
I like the idea. I like the idea.
Perfect. I'm Laura Reeves, the host of Pure Dog Talk, and I'm coming today to talk to you about Brilliant Pad. And it is amazing and an incredible way for me to do my potty training with the puppies and not ever have to touch any yucky stuff. Brilliant Pad literally rolls the mess up and you never touch it. So I really wanted to talk to you guys about that, share with you the experience I had with it. It's like the most amazing thing you've ever seen. So talk a little bit about some of the other events. And this is something I don't think people really realize. I know you have dog shows in the building. Everybody knows about that. But unless you have a breed that has extracurricular events, people don't know lure coursing is available on site. What else is as well?
We have dock diving. We have separate agility courses.
Right.
So you can go outside of the building to do agility. We actually have a herding program.
I thought you did herding. I didn't want to say that, but I'm like, God, it feels like there's a herding area where you could do a herding trial for your breed if you're having your national there, what have you.
You can. And that's one of my favorites too, is when you come on property, one of the first barns you see is the barns that hold all the sheep. So we have 130 sheep that we can use for herding trials. And there's so many people that take advantage of that. So I love to see that. You can do disc. We can set up a course where you can do weave. Pretty much any one of the sports, we can find an area on property and kind of build that for you.
Right. The only thing I have sporting dogs, so I cannot think of on property a way to do like a hunt test or, something like that.
No,
That's
unfortunately not.
Yeah. That's what I thought. Because my breed has looked at the event center for a national, and finding a place to do our field trial hasn't our horseback course, right? So that's a big chunk of land. So yeah, finding that is a challenge. Absolutely.
And where do you normally go for that?
I'm sorry?
Where do you normally go for that trial?
It depends. The national rotates around the country. So when we have had our national in Southern Illinois, and I'm gonna forget the Rund Lake facility, and then there's a state ground in Southern Illinois out that way that we've done it out there, but we've never found grounds close enough to the event center to be able to do the field trial there. So there's another request for you.
Right.
That's the beautiful thing about Pure Dog Talk, like, come on, y'all, send me your questions. I'll get them to Purina. No problem.
I love it. You can send them my way.
Excellent. I love it, Angie. Okay. So what do you got coming up? And now you've got PCA. What is it, this week or next week?
It's this week.
Yeah.
It's this week. We'll have a show all the way. There's one every week. I don't even have the list in front of me. I mean, there's one every single week, which I love. So I always look on Monday. I'm like, who's out there?
Well, in PCA, for folks that don't know, Poodle Club of America is one of those iconic like bucket list things. It's on my bucket list to do PCA one of these days, just to go and see it, because the club does all this decorating. I've seen the photos. It's incredible.
Hmm. I'm excited. I'm headed out there on Thursday to spend the day so
Yep.
that I can
Yep.
be with the
Take it
team out
all
there.
in. Take it all
Yeah,
in.
my first poodle show.
Yeah. Oh, seriously? That's your
Yeah.
first PCA? Oh man. It's definitely on my bucket list. It's Potomac and PCA and Montgomery. Those are the three big ones that I haven't made it to yet.
Okay.
Definitely on my list.
I might put them on my bucket list too.
Yeah. Those are absolutely Potomac out and on the East Coast for the Labradors, and Montgomery County Kennel Club for the Terrier shows. Those are huge major dog shows in the world.
Perfect.
Okay. All right. So you've got a show going every week. You're back to full operations, right?
Well, we are back to full operations at the event center. We
Okay.
unfortunately did close the visitor center for the year
Oh,
while we were.
wow.
Yeah, we did, unfortunately. So we won't be hosting any of our field trips or our birthday parties that we normally have, but we are going to take the farms to the community, and we're going to take our dog trainers and the incredible dog team out
Oh,
to some of the community events in the area so that we can stay connected with the community.
I love that. Tell me more about that.
Yeah, I'm excited too. We have the Incredible Dog Arena
Hmm.
on Purina Farms, and we have a great Incredible Dog team that does all the fun tricks and the dock diving. We can't take the dock diving with us, unfortunately.
It's a big pool.
Yeah, but we'll take a agility show to
Mm,
some of the festivals and different wine tastings and events that are taking place in the region throughout the summer. So
right.
that's our plan, just to stay connected to the consumer and bring the farm to the community.
I think that's really impressive that you guys have that much dedication, that you're, still doing the thing even without your facility to do it in.
Yeah. And it's been so great because everyone's offered to like come on property and help rebuild or clean up or,
Right.
bring water for animals. And unfortunately, we can't have anyone do that. So we felt this was the best way that we could kind of give back for everyone wanting to give to us. And then we continuously ask to make sure that if anyone does want to support and do anything to help us,
Mhm.
that they help one of our shelters that we partner with in the area that have been so tremendous.
Mhm.
And giving us support the night of the tornado and the weeks after. So we would that's how we ask people to give to us, is to
Sure.
give to others.
Sure. I think that's phenomenal. And just a quick question. I know you mentioned the barns, and I'm trying to make sure I've got I'm seeing my map of the farm right now off. So if you're in the event center, back this way is the exercise areas, and there was like an extra little building there. Are those still good,
Those,
or
yeah,
okay?
they're
Okay.
fine. It seemed like the tornado didn't hit up the top of the hill. It just really, it had some
Mhm.
wind damage and some rain damage, but it really came down at the bottom of the hill into that
Okay.
gully and
Yeah.
up the hill on the side of the road. So
Yeah, that's tornadoes do the weirdest things, and I think that's topography has something to do with it. I'm not a meteorologist. I don't play
me
one on
neither.
TV.
Me neither.
just, but I do know that how the topography is affects where the tornado goes. So that was I was trying to kind of envision where everything was, and figure out if they got all the exercise yards that every I love those when I go, because you go to a dog show, you've got your dogs in pens or you're leash walking them, and you're like, so great to be able to just let them run. And
Hmm.
it makes all the difference when you're at a national, and it's you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I've been on the road for 4 days. My dogs need to run around.
Yeah. So
That's
really, when you come on property, everything to the left up the hill
mhm,
is fine, and it's
is
everything more to the right
yeah.
with the visitor center that was impacted.
Mhm. Amazing.
Help give you some.
Yeah, right. Right. And talk to me about, because I knew this at one point, but it's been a minute. Talk to me about how many people a year come through that visitor center.
Through the visitor center
Mhm.
itself, um, about 800,000 guests come through for the year. I mean, it's crazy. We do tons of special events. It's amazing, like the community support that we receive. And so we're definitely sad that we're not going to be able to open this year, but us taking the farm to the community will be our way of just giving back. So we're excited.
Well, and I again, I don't think I realized 800,000 people. That's a huge impact to have to lose out, right, in that way.
I know it's sad. But we're grateful. I mean, again, we're so grateful that it's just buildings we're repairing,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. Yeah.
we have all of our animals, we have all of our people, and that's all
Even
that
the
really
barn
matters.
cats, right? Last I heard, even the barn cats came back.
Those barn cats crack me up.
Yeah, right.
I mean, they're just so crazy, but so they have the biggest personalities.
Hmm. I
It
had
cracks me
this
up.
barn cat in Nebraska, and I raise wire hair pointers. They don't like cats, and the cat knew that, and she would lie on the sunny sidewalk around the kennel yard and like roll around and twitch her tail, and the dogs are losing their ever loving minds because barn cat, you know.
They're so funny, and I swear they have like 900 lives, not just
Yeah,
9.
yeah, 100%, 100% a thing.
They're the best, though. I mean, they just make me smile when I see them. I'm like,
Yeah,
"Oh, there they are. What are they up to?"
the bad kitties are naughty. All right. Angie, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate you coming and talking to us and catching us up. Good luck. Have fun at PCA. It is a thing
Oh,
to see.
I'm excited to see it. I really, really am.
Excellent. Well, I'm not sure when I'm coming back out, but I will be there soon, I hope. So,
Well, let us know. We'd love to see you, and please tell all your listeners, we appreciate their support and their love. It
yep.
means the world to us. So, and thank you.
It is a community, and it's the tribe. We call it the tribe. So,
Love,
there you go.
subscribe.
There you go. All right. Thanks a lot, Angie. You have a great day. We'll talk to you soon.
You too. Thanks.